In this video, I'm going to make the main part of the frame that holds the Ferris wheel. And this is kind of like a house shape, so I'm going to start with a rectangle. So on the front plane, I'm going to insert a sketch and then go to rectangle. I like to keep the origin in the approximate center of my work, so I'm going to draw from the origin out with a center draw rectangle. It's up to you how you do it, but I recommend this as an approach. Okay, it doesn't matter how big my rectangle is to start with, I'm going to make it the right size. So I want it to be 50 millimeters on the side, 100 millimeters across the bottom, and then we're going to put in some construction geometry. So I want a line, I want it to be for construction, I want it to go from the center of the bottom of the shape, and I want it to be vertical. Yeah, that'll do. Okay, so now I have a vertical line. I can escape or double click to stop that line. I want to now get rid of this line at the top of my shape because I'm going to replace it. So I want to draw a line. How about I make this an exact length so that I can get the height correct. So if I make that 120 high, then I can draw my line from above that. We can make it 130. There's a reason I'm keeping the 120. I can fix it in a second. So I want to go from there, I want to close that and make sure it draws from there to there. Okay, so the reason this is 120 and this is not 120 is because I want to put the hole that the Ferris wheel attaches to at the 120 point. So if I use Smart Dimension, I can click from the center here to the center there, and I can make that 140 or something like that, and then curve it off so it's nice and smooth. You might not have done curving before, so let me show you that a little slowly. I want to get rid of Smart Dimension. Okay, so now I want to click on this tool. It says Sketch Fillet. So you might have used a fillet on a 3D object before. This is a fillet on a sketch. So I want to go from here to here. Oh, I didn't click it probably. There we go. When I hover over the point, it's going to show me where the fillet will be. So I want that to be filleted, and I think everything else can stay square. There we go. Okay, so there's my sketch fillet. Click the tick. Okay, and now it's filleted away that top point. But where we want the hole to be is still inside the shape. And now I'm just going to blow out some of this so that you can actually see the Ferris wheel through it. And I'm going to do that with a triangle. You can do some more maths to work out where the triangle should be if you want to, but I'm okay with just doing it by eye. So I want this to have 3 sides, not 6. And I'm going to go from there because it draws from the center, and then it's a bit high. I'll bring it down. Okay, there's a triangle. Let me drag that down. Okay, I'm drawing a triangle. I want it to have 3 sides. I want to draw it from about here because it draws from the center, and I think that's a little low. So once we're approximately happy, we can drag it into position and drag it up a bit That should be fine. Okay, and now just to make it pretty, I'm going to stick some of these on the corners of my triangle. So I click 2 lines to apply it, and I can change how big that is, change it to 5 mil, and then click tick. So now I have the window shape as a triangle with curved corners, and now I just need to put a hole in. My hole needs to be slightly bigger than the hole that was in the Ferris wheel. The Ferris wheel is going to be glued to its hole, so it needs to fit well, but we want the axle that the Ferris wheel turns on to go through this hole and not be sticking. We want it to move fairly easily. So we want that to have a diameter of 7 millimeters, which is slightly bigger than the 6 millimeters we have for the Ferris wheel itself. Okay, so now that should be all of the shape done, and now we just need to make some cutouts for the edges for it to join to the rest of the box. Okay, so rectangles again. We're going to need 3 across the bottom, maybe two across the bottom and 1 across each side. That should do it. So we want, I can draw this here. So I want it to be evenly spaced, and I need it to be, it doesn't matter how big it is in one direction, so you don't want it to be too big, but this height here has to be 3 millimeters, because that's how wide our material is going to be. So that has to be 3 millimeters, and then this bit here I would make 15 millimeters, but there's no right or wrong there. If you make it very small, you want to have more of them. Okay, because I'm only having 1 on either side, I probably just want to mirror these entities. So I want to mirror that about this axis here. No, not there. Mirror about. So click here and then click the axis. There we go. And you'll see that the tab turns up there. Click tick, and then I'm going to use trim entities and get rid of that line, get rid of that line. Okay, I've got 2 tabs. I can very carefully measure this line, and you'll see that everything kind of shuffles over. So if this is 15 millimeters, then I know how to line up the base to make sure it fits. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing on the side. So I'm going to draw my rectangle from here to here, and I'm going to dimension that. So I want it to be 3 mil, and I want it to be 15 millimeters that way. Okay, and then once I'm sure that I've got it right, and I can even smart dimension from this point to this point. Now this one I'm going to keep at 18 because there's going to be 3 millimeters worth of wood there on the base, and so we want it to be about even. And now I'm going to mirror that one. Click in the middle of the shape to highlight the shape, mirror about this line again. See how construction lines are really useful. Tick, and then trim entities. I'm going to trim this bit here and this bit here. There we go, we have our tabs. Okay, and now I'm happy with that shape. So exit the sketch, highlight the sketch, go to features, go to extrude boss, check that it looks about right, change it to 3 millimeters. No. Change it to 3 millimeters, rotate it to check that it looks right. The holes are where they're supposed to be, the tabs are where they're supposed to be, looks good. Okay, and tick. And there's the side of my frame that's going to hold our Ferris wheel.